Hi, Anthony Garcia with Verizon, and today we're going to be looking at the Expressway Host Connector, or Connector Host, what they call it. Now this has to do with Cisco's Webex Teams hybrid services, and I just ran into this today and just thought I'd bring you guys along to upgrade this box. So although there is microcode when we talk about Expressways and Expressways running hybrid, Webex Teams hybrid, we have the call connector, we have the calendar connector, and we have the management connector, right? Those are microcodes, and you get those updates automatically in the background, right? Inside the Webex Teams control hub, you can dictate when the upgrades are going to happen, so when these microcode updates are going to happen. But the box itself is running Expressway, or for your older guys, the VCS series software. So the software itself that hosts these connectors, and again, those connectors are kind of microcode, those get upgraded automatically from the Cisco Collaboration Cloud. But the host itself, the Expressway series software sitting on your either a bare metal box or a VM, that software itself needs to be upgraded every so often, because these connector management microcodes sometimes communicate with the OS underlying the application, in different ways, and there's more features and capabilities that come out. So again, this is just a very quick video. I ran into this, thought I'd shoot a video just to let you guys know, is it as easy as the old Expressway VCS boxes? Can we just upgrade? And let's see what Cisco leads us into here. So let's head over to the whiteboard. I'll whiteboard this out real quick, and then we'll get started on the demo. Okay, let's go over a quick review of the Webex Teams hybrid connector host. So it's an entity, it's a server, bare metal or typically a VM. It's going to run Expressway. It's going to run the Expressway series software. Now, inside the Expressway series software, you typically remember the Expressway series software is for MRA, Federation, B2B video, things like that, and it came from VCS, which was the video call controller of the old days, and I say the old days, just a few years ago. But the Expressway series software that we're using for connector host does one specific thing, and it kind of glues the Webex Collaboration Cloud to your on-prem call control and calendaring system, and also in a way kind of glues those two together so you can have these at Webex, at Spark, phones ring, your desktop phone rings when somebody calls you DN, and your Webex Teams client rings as well. I have another video kind of explaining what hybrid is. If you really need an overview of what hybrid is, go check out that video. It's called Webex Teams Hybrid Overview. But back to this, for you guys who know a little bit about this, the Expressway that we're dealing with today has connectors. And those connectors one is calendar, so let's just put calendar there, and that one's going to connect up somehow. So this is going to be inside your infrastructure somehow, either provided by Verizon or inside if you have an on-prem system. This calendar connector is either going to hook up or connect to your Exchange, either online or on-prem. Okay, in my case, the one we're going to see in the demo is online. Then you're going to have a management connector. I should have really done this one first, but this management connector is going to connect up to the Webex Teams Collaboration Cloud. Okay, and then the other connector is going to be the call connector, and that one's going to connect up to your CUCM. Right, your call control entity, whether again provided by Verizon as a service or on-prem. So this is kind of what this thing does, and then in a nutshell,
just to go over this a little bit differently, if we have the Webex cloud up here, collaboration cloud, and then we have our on-prem, let's just say we have on-prem Exchange for now. If we have on-prem Exchange over here, we have users like user 1 and user 2 that exist over here. And then we have, let's say it's on-prem, could be Visa UCAS as well, CUCM. That's your call control entity. So we have a box here, we have a box here. And then we have this service that's up here. And we're going to have users exist everywhere. Let's say all the users exist everywhere, the exact same users. And we do that in a number of different ways, either directory synchronization, ADFS, IDPs, whatever. Just we have these users exist everywhere, in other words. And then if a user over here, a Webex Teams user, or let's say, excuse me, let's go to an Exchange user. So this Exchange user schedules a meeting, right? And they schedule that meeting with a @Webex, right? We want that to pull in our PMR, our personal meeting room information. And where does it get that? Well, remember these connectors, right? Let's draw the Expressway box here with the calendar connector, and that calendar connector is going to connect up on one side over here to Exchange, and then the other side is going to connect up over here into the Webex collaboration cloud, where Webex Meeting Center exists and all the meeting stuff that exists in Webex. So that's how kind of this thing, if it can look inside user 1 calendar and see there's an @Webex here, and then it comes over here, is there a user 1? Yes. Grab user 1's personal meeting room, and let's say we're gonna grab that, and we're going to put it inside the meeting invite, okay, that this guy did, and put the @Webex in the location. So that's kind of how this stuff works. It's kind of, looking one way and looking the other way, and gluing things together. Similarly, if we go back here, take this off here, and let's say that a Webex Teams user is connected, and we don't, out on the internet somewhere or on-prem, it doesn't matter, but I don't know, let's draw a laptop instead of a mobile. And they have a Webex Teams client up. And someone calls, let's say they have a connected to call manager, hopefully they're using Verizon UCAS. Hopefully maybe they have a number, and it's 713, they have a DN that's on our SIP trunking service, 123, 1234. And somebody calls that DN from the PSTN. Someone calls that DN, and of course this phone's going to start ringing. Okay, again, now we have this magic inside the Expressway call connector host. Remember, it has a call connector as well, and that kind of connects up. Let's use, how about purple? That kind of connects up to CUCM, and it also connects up to the Webex cloud, and let's say it's connected up to that laptop as well, because he's running the Webex client. Well, it knows through some magic that we configure, that this particular phone, this particular user's phone, and let's make sure, let's identify this user. This is user, I'll say user 3, and this is user 3. Well, it knows that the user's phone is ringing, so it needs to go ahead and ring the Webex client as well. And then that user 3 can either pick up on the Webex Teams client, or can pick up on his business phone, that UCAS phone. So these are some of the things that the Expressway Connector Host deals with. Again, this is just a very, very quick overview. There's also Call Aware that I won't go over here, but you can watch another video. But let's go over and check out how we upgrade this thing and see what happened in the last couple of days. And I got an alarm on, so we're going to take a look at that. Okay, here we are on an Expressway that is a connector host for Webex Teams Hybrid. Let's log in and see what we see. Okay, if I go to the alarms, and it just went to the alarms because that's where I was when it logged me out, but I can see right here, I'm getting an alarm and it says a new version of Cisco Expressway was released. We advise that you upgrade to this version at your earliest convenience to use the latest features and avoid any unsupported hybrid services deployment when the next Expressway version is released. Your current version will be supported until the next Expressway release. So the next Expressway release. What Cisco is doing is going back to releases. So they will support two major releases. Okay, and what major releases I mean, and let me bring up a whiteboard here real quick. The major releases are, let's say you have 8.10, okay, and and let's say Cisco releases 8.10.1, and they release 8.10.2. Those are not major releases, so this is a minor release. But if they upgrade to they release 8.11, that's a major release. So what they're saying is, if you're running 8.10, let's say today, they release 8.11, these two releases are going to be supported, all right? So two releases back. So once they go to 8.12, these two releases are going to be supported. So you're going to lose connectivity or lose support for that one. As I understand it, I believe that's how it is. Let's go see if they say anything about this on the website here. Read more and download the new version. So let's go take a look at where that URL takes us. It takes us right here. And it says, for hybrid connector host, you must register an Expressway box with the latest software release. What does that first sentence mean? That first sentence means if I were to get a host up today, I was installing a new box today, I better be on the latest release. And I think the latest release we'll take a look at is 8.11. So if I had a copy of 8.10, which supports Webex Teams Hybrid, I wouldn't be able to register the call connectors to the cloud. I wouldn't be able to do it. In other words, any new stuff, any new server, you have to be in the latest release. So I'd have to be on 8.11, that major release. Okay, that's what they're saying there. Okay, so what's the next sentence here? For existing connector hosts, we support the two latest major release versions of Expressway. Make sure that you update the Expressway software on your connector host as often as possible. So this zero touch thing that we all hear about, Webex Cloud, yes, if you're doing Webex Teams in the cloud exclusively, but once you go to a hybrid system, obviously you have your UCaaS infrastructure, your on-prem call manager, Unity and CUPS server, IMP server. You have all that stuff still needing to be upgraded to patch and things like that. And also, if you go to Webex Hybrid, you also have these things to contend with and to upgrade and keep patched and things like that is what they're saying. So you must upgrade to the latest stable connector release as a prerequisite for technical support. So in other words, they won't even open a TAC case unless you're on the latest stable connector release. What is a stable connector release? I believe what they mean is a major release like 8.10, not 8.10.1 or 8.10.2, but 8.10. Okay, so again, let's continue. You must keep your Expressway C connector host up to date. Okay, we know that. You can download the latest software free of charge from software.cisco.com. If you're a technical guy, this is old hat. We know to go where we download Cisco software. It says, or the Cisco WebEx Control Hub under Edit Settings from one of the hybrid cards. What does that mean? Well, that means that I can log into my Control Hub, my WebEx Control Hub, and let's do that real quick. And we'll let that log in. We'll go back in. And where they're pointing us to, they're saying you can go to the Cisco Webex Control Hub under Services and edit settings from a hybrid card. Okay, now let's see what that's all about. They said go to Services, and then these are called cards, and they said go to Hybrid Services, and one of the hybrid cards, go to Edit Settings. Okay, well, I'll go to this hybrid card. I'll go to Edit Settings, and it says I can get the software here, but I don't see it. However, I do see documentation and software, and I see download Expressway software, again, at the place that I normally get it, and most of you technical folks would get it at, software.cisco.com. So the software doesn't exist here. Maybe they plan on putting it there later. I'm not sure, but it definitely seems like they're saying it exists here. The directory connector sync software, the Cisco directory connector sync software, does exist in the Webex Control Hub, but the Expressway software does not. Just to let you know, this is where I went. I went to Services, and I went to one of the hybrid services cards. Either all these are going to kind of take you kind of the same place. Not the exact same place, but at the bottom is the same help and documentation, and it's going to refer you again to Cisco or the software.cisco.com site. So we're going to have to go there and have a CCO login and all that stuff to get the latest software. So I have already downloaded this latest software, and that latest software is right here. There's 8.11. What I'm going to do is we're going to upgrade this guy. So we're going to go over to maintenance. I'm going to, just as a precaution, usually on VCSs or expressways that are doing B2B calls or doing MRA, we put this in maintenance mode just so it can kind of shut everything down elegantly and not let new connections, things like that. I'm going to do this just as a precaution. Maintenance mode. We'll turn maintenance mode on. In fact, before we do that, let's go ahead and, just so you guys know, this is typically what you would want to do. And we want to do a backup here. Okay, and we can see how easy that is. We just hit create system backup. Now I didn't put a password or anything like that on that, but it immediately download, and there's our download right there. So we can take a look. So we've already got a backup created there. I paused the video for maybe 10 seconds so I could do a backup. But there's our backup, so we're good as far as backups are concerned. Just in case something goes awry here, we'll be able to restore. And then we'll go ahead and put this in maintenance mode. Turn maintenance mode on. Okay, and then what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and go to maintenance and upgrade. And we're going to choose a file. And we're going to choose that 8.11. And just real quick, let me go back here just so you see that I'm on 8.10. All right, we're going to choose 8.11. We're going to open that up. And we're going to, let's get this out of the way. We're going to go ahead and upgrade. And we can see right there, it's telling us it's uploading the file. You see that? And we'll do some speed camera magic here to save you a little bit of time. Okay, and this is where we end up. It gives us an upgrade confirmation, and what we can do here is check the file against a hash. We will go ahead and do that, and I'm just using onlinemd5.com. I can go ahead and upload the file or grab the two checksums and compare it with what I find here. This is what I want to compare it with, right? Because this is what's going to go in there. So you grab that one, you bring it over here, and you either grab the one from Software Central, either here, the MD5 or the SHA, and then put that in there. You can pretty much figure that out. But you're just checking the file, make sure it's not corrupt or have been manipulated in any way. And then after that, that's it. Let's continue with upgrade. And then I'll go ahead and pause the video. We'll come back and see what happens. Okay, we're back now, and the system upgrade is complete except for a reboot. So now we have to reboot the system. Of course, we're going to make sure that we're in maintenance hours or maintenance window, and we're going to reboot this system. And there we go. Again, I'll pause the video, and we'll come back on the other side. Okay, we are back, and the upgrade is done, and the reboot is done. Let's get back in here and see if we have any errors now. So remember, we had 2 errors on 2 connectors, and I immediately see I have no alarms over here. So those alarms, although a little ambiguous, they were pertaining to the upgrade. So one of them was pretty pointed, but the other one was not. So let's go look at our connector management, and we see everything. Remember, these 2 were down, or excuse me, running with errors, and that was because of the upgrade. So anyway, that's it. That's all there is to it. And let's just go make sure that we're not in maintenance mode anymore. Yeah, maintenance mode is off, so we're good there. And let's go take a look at each of these individually. Management conductor is good. Our calendar connector. So the management connector is the main connector that connects up to Webex Teams Collaboration Cloud or Webex Collaboration Cloud. The calendar connector is the one that connects to your Exchange environment. In my case, it's Exchange Online, and it also connects up to the Webex meeting center, the Webex side of things. Because remember, the way this thing works is you pull in, at Webex in the location of the meeting invite, and that is what pulls over your PMR from the Webex side. So it actually, connects 2 ways, so to speak. And then we have one more, and that's the call connector. That's the connector that's going to connect up to Call Manager, and you can see there. Here's my Call Manager. Okay, what we're going to do now is just test the Webex hybrid calendar integration and make sure it's working now that we've upgraded our connectors. So I'm going to use Anson's phone here, and we're going to go into Outlook, and we're going to use one of the unique features of Webex Teams hybrid calendar integration. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our calendar like we usually do, or like we're used to doing. We're going to add a calendar event, and we'll name it Test Meeting 4. Now, this is one of the unique things about Webex Teams hybrid calendaring is it doesn't matter what kind of device you're on, because all you need is at the location at Webex. So I could have very well been on Anson's PC, which is over here, and we could have done that inside Outlook, but I'm choosing to do it on an iPhone because this is something that's unique here. So let's, looks like I'm getting some text messages from my daughter there, apologize. So we've got the event created here, and then at the location, we're going to put our at Webex. All right, that's all we need there. We can give it a description. And I'm going to put that. I'm going to do a check mark there. And the time I won't worry about, 5 to 6, and it's almost time. So yeah, we'll see everything come up. So perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and create that event. And you see it's in my Outlook calendar right there. And let's head over to, you can see it popped up in my Outlook calendar on my desktop too. But let's hop over to Jessica, because Jessica, oh, did we invite Jessica? Let's make sure we did. I don't remember doing that. So people, yeah, let's invite Jessica there. I apologize. Alrighty. There we go. Now we have everything right. Let's pop over to Jessica's PC. See what she sees. Okay, it looks like she got a meeting invite there. We'll snooze on that. We'll go ahead and just accept this. Okay, now what I want to look at here is I want to be on Jessica's PC, and I'm going to go to her calendar, and I'm going to pull that up. And you can see there that there's all Anson's PMR information. So all Anson did, if you remember, all we did on Anson's iPhone was to put the @Webex right there. We did nothing more. So that's all we have to remember to do. Now, let's say it's time for the meeting to start, and we'll go back to Anson here, and let's say he already got a reminder. I don't know if you saw that, but there it is. And it comes up as a badge in the background or on our iPhone screen when it's locked. But there it is. So I know to start my meeting. I got a meeting coming up. It's called test meeting. And I can just go ahead and start it right from here. So right from my mobile phone. And now I have the option also. I'm in a room that has a room kit in it, and it just discovered it. Did you see that? So now I can start on my room kit. In other words, I can join the meeting on the big screen on the wall behind me, or I can start on my iPhone if I were mobile. I'm just going to start it on my iPhone so you can see here, and you can see that it changed to iPhone there. And we'll just go ahead and start the meeting. We're going into the meeting. And all this is old hat, so this is just regular WebEx team stuff. I'll go ahead and disconnect that. That meeting still stays there because it's on my calendar and in my WebEx Teams because it's scheduled right now. But just back to Jessica here, and you can see that she has several options as well to start from Outlook, but she also has the WebEx Teams client, and it's asking her if she wants to go ahead and join as well. So she can click there, and then she can join from here. So that's kind of the power of this WebEx Teams hybrid calendar integration. Now there's other things like calling and things like that, but I wanted to show you this because I think this is really neat. And we've just tested after the upgrade. I hope this has been informative, and thank you for watching.